everybody's doing good. Happy Thursday. Welcome to day 27 of International Guitar Month. Thank you, Amy Lynn. Hey, Jimmy Mac, what's going on? My new friend Mandar and his wife Pandar. Pandar, I think, yes. Metalhead Hippie. Hello, Jeff. Thanks for being here. There she is. We're back, she says. Thank you. Like your new guitar. Thank you. This is actually old. I just haven't used it too much on the stream yet. But this is at least 3 years old now. Super minor here. Ready? That B minor chord just screams David Gilmour to me. Improv. I just made this backing track before we started. Let's see how it goes. Here it goes. It's in Dorian mode. Yeah, we can do that. Let's back up and say hi to a couple people while we're jamming. Hopefully you can hear me over the music. Let's see. We had Dwight show up here. Dwight, what's going on? Mandar. Hello, Vincent Wendy. Hello, Mandar. Who else? Who else? Who else? Oh, hey, Surfer Boy just dropped in. Where did he go? Surfer Boy, there he is. What's up from Boston? Sounding good, thank you. Ooh, a little key change. Like that. Folk and Blues just hanging out. Thank you for being here. Hello. Good to see you. Of course, I picked the part of the song where it changes chords. I have no idea where it's going. It's good to see everybody hanging out tonight. So Guitar Month. It's almost over, Guitar Month. Yeah, definitely making it up as I go. Cousin Mike in the house. Idea where I'm going most of the time. That's right. Almost over. Went by fast. Yeah, it did. Almost over. We're on day 27 of streaming. 27 days in a row. Mel Douglas Johnson, what's up? Thanks for being here. We're just doing something a little different. Little Dorian improv. Nope, you're not going again, so stop. There we go. Yeah, a little jamming out over some Dorian. Wendy said to talk about improv. I think I will. Because improv is really, to me, the freedom and end game for musicians. Yeah, if you can improvise and you know your way around the instrument enough, that's like the goal of most musicians, I would think. You know, you want to be able to play freely, not think about it too much, and just go for it, but know that when you go for it, it's going to sound good. That's the tricky part. My hands are not warmed up tonight, so we're going to hang on to the coffee cup for a bit. I just got done teaching. It was a long day of teaching today, 3 to 9, and I have not really played, so the hands are cold. But yeah, improv. Improv is really something that you have to work on and understand how it works. So there's certain chords that have certain scales that go with them. So when I hear something's in a certain key, I can just go ahead and play. And that's really how I get through most of my gigs. When I sub, I always ask for what key people do the songs in, because a lot of singer-songwriters, they don't stick to the key, the original key that the song was in. And you may get to the gig and all of a sudden you've practiced whatever song it is over and over in the key that it's written in, and you get there and they go, oh yeah, by the way, I don't sing it there because it's too high for me, so I moved it. It's no longer in A, it's in F sharp. And you're like, what? Most people freak out, can't move the key. So that's a big problem. So I've figured out how to get around that early on, because that happened to me once and I swore it would never happen again. So it was a struggle the first time it happened. I was able to get through it. But there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens at gigs, and the last thing you want to worry about is if someone changed the key on something and didn't tell you. So, and how to remedy that in case maybe, oh, well, maybe it slipped their mind because as a band leader, maybe they forgot, which is a bad thing on a band leader. But anyway, it happens. People forget stuff, or they just assume that you're good enough to switch keys randomly. So that's one hang up that I've noticed with a lot of students. But getting out of that is pretty easy if you know your way around the neck. And that also coincides with knowing all the notes on the neck. But anyway, this jam was in A Dorian for the most part. There was one section where it moved, and it grabbed me for a second, and I was like, oh, all right, well, I forgot I put those chords in there. But it still was in the key. So here's the thing. If it was in A Dorian, all right, A Dorian, well, that's the Dorian mode is the second mode. And maybe some of you are bored and are like, why are you even talking about this? But I just find it's important. So A minor 7, Dorian. We're going to change the format up a bit. Instead of just talking guitar and fun facts, we're going to do a little theory tonight. So the A minor 7 chord, Dorian, A, it's the 2 of a major, so that's G major. So G, A. It's the second note in a major scale, so that's Dorian. So if you know your major scale, then everything you play within reason, will be in tune with that song that's in Dorian. So a lot of people don't know this, but like Purple Haze is E Dorian, which means it's in the key of D major. So a lot of the stuff that I play, I never learned the solos. I just learned the parts. So like the main riff, you know, for Jimi Hendrix. Right? So I know the riff, and I know how the verses go, but when the solo comes, I just do my own thing, because I know what key I'm in, so I can play E Dorian. And that's literally the actual beginning of the solo. But all of those notes fit in Dorian, and then I can just take off from there and do whatever I want. So it's pretty cool once you start to understand how it all works. It's actually pretty easy. Pandora says that seems a little tricky to be able to transpose on the spot, but I get the theory. Yes. Lots of laughs. Yes. So yeah, transposing on the spot is not, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. It's definitely something that you have to learn the process to do, but it's totally doable. And I got good at it for a while, especially when I was doing it a lot. So that's something that if you don't do it a lot, you tend to lose it. Use it or lose it, mister. So basically what happens is I was playing with Lou Paolo from the Les Paul Trio for many years. And Lou would change the keys of songs every time we played based on whatever singer sat in with us. So jazz is not my thing. So I went home and started to learn songs, and then I'd get back to playing with him, and it's not in the same key as it was on Wednesday, and now we're at Friday, just a few days later. It's in a whole different key, and I'm like, oh. So that really fine-tuned my transposing skills, because every gig it was different. Like literally, it just didn't matter. It was like, forget learning the song. Didn't even matter, because I'd go back on Sunday, 2 days after Friday, and it was a different key again. So I learned a lot in those 10 years of playing with him. But I was able to transpose before that, which really helped when I started to play with him. It was pretty, not easy, but I was already aware of what to do. So the first few times that I did it, he was rather impressed, and he said, "Oh, I don't have to worry about you." He goes, I know you're not going to hit the wrong notes." He said that to me a bunch of times. He's like, "I never have to worry about you. You don't hit the wrong notes." I'm like, "Well, I hit wrong notes. I just know how to hide them really well." And that's also another skill of improvisation, is hiding the bad notes. So how do you do that? Well, literally every correct note is one note away from being, or from the bad note. So if you have a good ear and you're quick, you can get around that. And really, if you don't have a good ear, but you're quick and you do it enough, you can get around it. So for A minor 7, whoop, we're off. So A minor 7 has pretty much every natural note in it that there is. So you don't really have to worry about anything, except for one note is different when you move it to a minor 6, which also equals Dorian. That chord right there. Ooh, that's so cool. An A minor 6. But that just introduced an F sharp. And then again, that lets you know that we're in the key of G, because the key of G only has one sharp, and that would be the F sharp. So that's how my brain starts to think about these things as they go by. Let's see, what else? Improvisation. So I would say that one of the main things that people really need to focus on when they're trying to improvise is not playing too many notes. Like literally just let the track go. I've played with people who, as soon as the track starts, they'll just come in guns blazing. Like literally, here, like this would be an example of that. Let's see. It would just be counting it off, and then and I was stumbling on purpose to just prove a point that a lot of people would try and find the notes at that speed. And that's the worst thing you can do. I always try and let the track go for a minute and listen. Just let it go. And then if I don't know what key they're playing in, maybe the keyboard player's playing and I can't see the bass player's hands or the keyboard player, and I'll go, all right, let me just try and find a couple of notes, and I'll play single notes. Well, that's not it, but it works. That works too, but it's not it. And then I would go here. Now that I'm better at this, I could hear that that's an A. So I would just go right to the A. And now there's this little chromatic thing, which is really cool. So, hear it? Okay, now we got an F, E, A minor, and then it's pretty normal after this. So I would let this go and just kind of hang. And then once I got my bearing and kind of figured out what key I'm in, then I'll come in. So it's a lot of fun once you're able to figure it out. It gets frustrating for a lot of people at first because, you know, it's basically driving the car blindfolded and without a roadmap. If you don't know at least basic theory, just basic theory, and you can get through any tune. There are so many tricks that I've learned over the years to figure out what key something's in, and this is the worst. I've played with singer-songwriters before that tell me what key it's in, but they tell me the first chord of the song. They don't tell me what key it's in. Now that's a problem because not every song starts with the key chord. In other words, just because it starts on G doesn't mean that it's in the key of G. All right, just because I started on A minor doesn't mean I'm in the key of C, A minor, relative minor. This particular song, A minor was the 2 of the key of G. That's where it gets confusing, but this thing, you got to use your ears and you got to pay attention. You can't just jump in blind like I did on the second example, because that's just amateur, and I really feel like it's suicide when you do that, because you probably won't get asked back to sub if that's how you play every tune. You know, you got to let stuff kind of bloom, let it go, leave some space. And that's just my belief. Maybe that works for some people. They just blast right into it and all guns a-blazing, and fine, that's cool. But I don't work that way. That's just not me. I like to listen, let the music do its thing, because when you're in a band, it's not about just you, it's about the whole band. So, yeah, you don't want to hog it, you know what I'm saying? Let's see here. All right, cool. So we have a good amount of people on. Let's see who else is hanging out here. We got Cousin Mike saying hello, and Surfer Boy probably replying to something I said, and I have no idea what that is at this point in time, but so am I. Whatever it is. Me too. But how do you know what notes to choose and phrasings to use? So that comes with time, and if you're trying to be melodic, there's been many studies that the human brain can only comprehend 7 notes or 7 things at once. So, if you're just out there ripping, that's the worst thing you can do, because no one's going to leave going, wow, I can hum that song. They're going to leave going, that guy ripped. He was really fast. But then what? After the first 3 songs, if that's all you can do, then who cares? You got to have something that's melodic. Like my annoying song with the tapping in it from last night. I hate playing because I always mess it up. But it has a melody to it. And if you heard it and had it, you know, over and over, you'd be able to hum this. You know? So anyway, I try and write tunes that have some sort of melodic structure and aren't just rip-roaring guitar flashiness. So, and then I try and pull that off into my cover gigs. Anything that I do with a sub gig or whatever, just really try and listen. Don't play too many notes at first. There's always time for that. Playing too many notes is easy when you get the speed, because it becomes a motor skill. It's not really all that difficult once you can play fast to play fast. It's actually harder to play something memorable and melodic than it is. That's right. And nobody is above the tune. Nobody. That's right. I'm going to get a t-shirt with that made on it. I love that phrase that I said. Nobody is above the tune. I've said that to people and they look at me like, what? I'm like, seriously, man, nobody's above the tune. The tune is the tune. You got to do justice to the song. You know, everything else is just ego. Get over it. I know I'm going to be playing a cover gig and I'm going to do something fast and someone's going to walk up to me now and go, nobody's above the tune, man. I watched you on April 27th. 2023. And you said nobody's above the tune. What was all of that stuff you were doing? Ah, yes. So let's see. That seemed a little tricky. Yes, okay. I think I addressed that one. Yeah, you were forced to. Yes, exactly. I would just walk out. No, there was no walking out. I tried to walk out on Lou a couple times. Actually, even before I got to play with him. The first time I played with him, I was terrified because I didn't know any jazz. So a friend of mine dragged me to go see him. He's like, "You're going to go play. He invited you. Go play. Come on, let's go." And he dragged me to go play. And I had my guitar in the trunk of the car. And I said, "I'm leaving the guitar in the car. There's no way I'm going in there with my guitar because he's going to make me play and I don't know what to play." So I walk in, and of course, the way the stage was set up, as soon as I walk in, he saw me. And he's like, "You're going to play, right?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't bring my guitar." And he takes his guitar off and hands me the guitar. And he's like, "Come on, sit in right now." I was like, oh my God. So that was definitely a lot of stress. First time playing with Lou Pallow was pretty fun and pretty stressful all at the same time. You know, I mean, he's played with everybody. Lou Pallow, you know, he passed away a few years ago now, but he played with everyone from Santana to Jimmy Page to Brian May to everybody in the jazz world. You know, it was him and Les Paul at the first Fat Tuesdays, and then the Iridium. Steve Stevens. I mean, I can go on for like 2 hours of naming everybody that he's sat in with or played with. Keith Richards, yes, definitely Keith Richards. He was friends with Keith. Let's see, who else? Steve Vai. He played with Steve Vai. He played with Joe Satriani. He played with... Oh, my God. Jose Feliciano. He played with Tommy Emmanuel. My goodness, I can't even remember. Like, I'm serious. Like, anybody you name, he's probably played with. That's how it worked. Because these people would go to the Iridium to sit in with Les Paul, and Lou was always there because Lou got Les out of retirement, and Lou was Les's right-hand man. He held the whole rhythm section down. So he played with everybody that came up on that stage. Olivia Newton-John, there's an amazing video of her singing Over the Rainbow that will just crush you. She's just amazing. Let's see, who else? Yeah, Pete. Of course, Pete. Hello, Elmer. Pete is from Vanilla Fudge now. Pete was a local guy that lived right in West Milford, New Jersey, where I used to live. And Pete is a bass player. Pete was awesome. Really good guy. And I think I can say he's a friend. He's really cool. We've hung out and played together at gigs with Lou, of course. And Pete went on to fulfill a crazy lifelong dream. His favorite band was Vanilla Fudge. And somehow he wound up auditioning and being the bass player when the bass player for that band retired, and he is the touring bassist with Vanilla Fudge now. Pete Brimmy. Great dude. And he deserves every bit of fame he got with those guys playing with Vanilla Fudge. Awesome stuff. Let's see. But yeah, Lou was amazing. And I got to play with him almost 3 times a week at one point. And then when he was off and I was playing, he'd come and play with me, which was insane. The first time that happened, I couldn't believe that Lou Pallow showed up at one of my gigs and played. He brought his guitar. It was so nuts. I still can't believe that first night he came. It was very cool. There's video of us doing something called Guitar Boogie on my YouTube channel, and he killed it. He came. It was another one of my birthday shows. The birthday shows when I used to play out full time were just ridiculous. It was over every time. It was always over 100 people at these things. It was nuts, and I'm very fortunate and grateful for those times. And one of the times Lou came and he brought his guitar and we did Guitar Boogie, and you could hear on the video the hooting, the hollering, the cheering, the screaming. It was like insane. And Lou ripped. It was so cool. But yeah, we used to play regularly, and it was really, one of those great things to be able to go and play with him and call him a friend, because he played with everybody, and I was scared. Les played with Van Halen, so I imagine Lou was there to back up Eddie. Anybody who came in, Lou was the rhythm guitar player, so he played with Eddie Van Halen. He played with everybody. It's just amazing how many people he's played with. Yeah. So someone mentioned before they liked my new guitar, and even though this is not a new guitar, we'll talk about it because this is my other favorite company. It's a hard decision who to put second officially to Parker, because Parker's my first love of guitars. But the Pia guitars by Ibanez have now been on my radar for the past year or so, couple of years, at the same time as this company came into my radar. Actually, these guys have been on my radar for years. This is a company called Stramberg, and they have a very unique thing about them. Wendy says it looks like a bat. I think it does too. It's pretty cool looking. So it weighs nothing. It's about 5 pounds. So it weighs probably as little as my Parkers do. Look at this neck. It's called a trapezoid neck. You see how that works? Check this out. I always teach my students how to play and keep their thumb flat behind the neck. And this guitar is designed to do that no matter where you play. Okay? So that's one thing. The other thing is it's a neck through the body, which means there's no heel here, so you can reach all the way up top without any restrictions. This particular guitar has 10 different positions. So when you play with the toggle switch, the other cool thing is it plugs in like the Ibanez out of the way. So I really like that. Like if Parker comes back, they got to figure out how to get the jack out of the way, because that is just unbelievably such a great feature. The weight, it weighs half the weight of a Les Paul. I think a Les Paul is like 12 to 15 pounds, so it's like a third. Let's see. Did you to his birthday party, and his daughter made a Les Paul birthday cake? Yeah, I was there for that. I kind of had a big part in setting that up, actually. Lou didn't know anything about it, and I was kind of the distraction. So we got Lou over there, and what a great time. So I have video of that, of us playing together, and everybody that came playing together. But they made a guitar cake. Was it a guitar cake? Was that the birthday party? One of the bigger birthday parties for Lou. Or did you mean Les Paul? I don't know which guy, because they both have the same initials there. Elmer, LP, Lou Palo, Les Paul. But Lou, one year, they did a birthday cake, and I think it was his car. I think it was the car. I can't remember now. But I have pictures of that, and that was a great day, really great day. I think it was for his 80th birthday. Pretty sure it was his 80th birthday. Pretty wild. The guy was 80 and he was still playing gigs. Actually, I think he was like 84 or 86 when he passed away. So he was still playing up until he passed away, which was amazing. And he still sounded good. You know, great playing. All right, so a little bit more about the guitar. The company is very environmentally conscious, so they're changing a lot of what they do. He always was environmentally conscious. It's a Swedish owner, Ola Strandberg, and they're based out of Sweden. But to get things moving more, he was seeking some backing for mass production, and unfortunately he went the way of Parker to US Music at one point, and that's when I first saw them. And holy cow, they pretty much, you know, wrecked Parker, and they almost probably would have wrecked this poor company too. But he was able to get out of there in time, which was good. So they survived, and incredibly good quality instruments. They're made in Indonesia now for the time being, which I still think they're going to be made there. But he's doing a handful of stuff that's going to be made in Sweden and possibly some others. No, actually, right now they do make some stuff in Japan. And the Ibanez stuff is all made in Japan, and it's killer quality. The guitars are beautiful. So, hey, Janice. Hello, Janice. Sorry I was sleeping, and I'm modding a live stream in 8 minutes. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for stopping in. It's good to see you. Appreciate it. Dwight's saying hello. That's cool. Let's see. Who else? Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. Cool. So, yeah. Great guitars. They're super light. Great tone. And with this switch, it's a 5-way switch. And I was starting to talk about that a little bit. But with the 5-way switch, you have the typical breakup of pickups. So you have the bridge, then you have the one coil in the middle, and then you have just the middle, and then you have the middle and this coil, and then you have the full humbucker, both coils. But with this toggle, this push-pull, I have another 5 versions of the pickups. So I get 10 sounds out of this guitar. It really sounds great. I went through them once before on the stream, but we could do it again real quick. Why not? So we have bridge, and then pulled. So regular bridge, and then pulled. That's kind of stratty, like a single coil thing. And then we have one coil and this guy, and then a pulled EQ type thing, which is really nice. And then we have just the middle, and then we have a EQ'd middle, so we have 2 different sounds there. And then we have this with this one coil, and then we have that with a split or some kind of EQ. And then we have just the full-on humbucker. And then this guy here, split. So 10 sounds out of this beast. It's a cool guitar. It weighs nothing. I could bring it on an airplane, which I have a bunch of times, and fits right in the overhead. Nobody complains. I don't get stopped at the gate. Oh, your case is too big. Anything like that. So it's a great, great guitar. I really do dig this company. And I don't know if anybody noticed this, but the frets are crooked. You see that? The frets are crooked when you get past 12. And that's really good because it angles for your wrist when you're up here doing higher chords. Take care, Janice. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. All right. Yeah, so let's see. I think I'll play a little bit. Do some playing. Let's see. What do I want to play? Let's get the iTunes out here. So hopefully everybody's having a great day. So it's day 27 of Guitar Month, and basically I started this whole thing back on April 1st because April is officially Guitar Month. A lot of people don't even know that Guitar Month is a thing or it exists, but it does. And it was started in 1987 by basically it was the accessories division of music, or they call MI, musical instruments and accessories. So they wanted to kind of get people excited about guitar in April. You know, you got spring, you got people getting their tax returns and all of that stuff. So they wanted to try and get people excited. Oh, geez, my mixer just went haywire. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Check 1, 2, let's see. Looks like we're good. Okay, cool. So, yeah, they just wanted to get people excited about guitar, and they were attempting to keep it as a monthly, yearly thing, rather. And I don't think it turned into much after the late 80s. I think it kind of fizzled out. But I haven't streamed, for those that are new, since October. I went on a bit of a hiatus after streaming every week, once a week, every Monday, since 2018, doing my show, Monday Night Live. And that was more of a performance show where I would just play the covers and originals and do a little talking, but not nearly as much. And the show was only an hour. But now we've gone and expanded. Looks like most of these shows are 2 hours long. And everybody hangs and keeps coming back, so cheers to that. Thank you. All right, Wendy says the audio's good. Cool. Surfer Boy, what did you have to say? I have a Charvel DK24HH, which means humbucker, which is these guys for non-guitar players, with 10 tones. You have the pickups 5 in series, toggle switches to 5 in parallel. Pretty versatile. Yes. So I guess that's pretty much the configuration. These were made by a guy named Michael Franks. These are custom pickups that were made for Ola Stramberg and the Stramberg line. And unfortunately, Michael Franks recently passed away. And Stramberg had to revamp all their guitars because that was the only company they were dealing with for pickups. And I'm not sure what happened, and I don't know the story, but he recently passed away, and Stramberg had to scramble and find themselves a new pickup company. And they had already dabbled in using Suhr pickups. So now they're officially using Suhr pickups, but they also have their own pickups again. I believe they're made in-house this time and not by a third party. Let's see. Surfer Boy says, you've turned me on to Parkers and Strambergs. They are unique and player friendly. Yes, they are. These things are beautiful, and I really wish that they would put a piezo pickup in this, because then it would be basically on par with my Parker Fly. You know, it's just, the neck is very unique, and because of the positioning with the way the thumb lays, your hand doesn't cramp up. You can reach pretty much every chord that you want. You know, some of these are larger stretches that I do, but I'm able to do like this with my, here, I'll show you the thumb cam. So I can keep my thumb in the back here. See how that works? And it's just flat in each position, so I can get the grip without crunching up. And then you get this. This opens everything up. And it's flat. So part of the design is the science behind it is you can grab things and with more strength and less tension in the carpal tunnel area when it's a flat surface. Rounded surfaces have proven to be more detrimental to your carpal tunnel because your thumb is curving around a curved surface instead of flat. So that's part of the science behind it. So Ola really doesn't play guitar like most people think he would. He plays, but not like we do. He doesn't play. He said that he has a Strandberg on display in his living room as an accomplishment, not because he plays it. So he's an engineer, is really what it comes down to. That was his regular job. And knowing about design and stuff like that, he designed this guitar to be lightweight. Much like Ken Parker did with the Parker Fly, he addressed all the problems people were having with their instruments and wanted to build a guitar that solved those problems. Here's the other really awesome thing about this guitar, is I could sit with this thing for 8 hours teaching, and I really don't need the strap. This footstool. Check this out. This cut here fits perfectly, and I sit with the guitar on my left leg. I've been doing that forever. And this is built for people who play the correct way with the guitar on their left leg. Now, here's the other part. This cut here is made to put it also on your left leg or your right leg and have it straight up and down, more like a classical guitar player would. If you ever seen any of the classical guitar players like Paco de Lucia, they keep the guitar more on a upper angle, you know, and they're ripping away because mostly this hand's doing the work. And I guess when you're sitting like this, you can kind of get your peripheral vision to see this hand and focus on both hands actually when it's up like this. So that could be part of the other reason, but it's posture again. So that's the whole thing, is with this guitar, it's actually designed for posture and ergonomics. Yeah, it is brilliant. And then also with the fanned frets. So they're angled in the direction in which your hand would be naturally fitted. We're all forced to play straight up and down over here because of the frets, the way they're designed on regular guitars. But with this little bit of an angle, you can get up here, and chording is a little easier. So the other reason is this side, I believe, is a 25.5 scale, and this side is 24 or 25. I don't remember the exact, but technically what he did is this side for the bass is better to have a longer scale, and it resonates better and it's clearer. And like on a Strat, that neck is shorter, and that's what this side is. So the high end aren't so brittle, and that's how he did that, or why he did that, from what I understand. I also, if I remember correctly, this is the first fanned fret guitar that has a tremolo bar, because he had to design the bar to have an angled, see that there? So if we go straight up and down, it has to go on an angle like the bridge, like the fretboard, or you won't have proper tuning. The intonation won't be in, and you'll have a guitar that's out of tune when you get higher up. Yeah. All right, so I think I'll do a little playing. And let's see what's on the agenda here. What do I have? I have a lot of stuff. I just don't know them anymore. Let's see. What should we do? We will do maybe some AC/DC tonight. We'll do some AC/DC. Let's see. Where is that? Oh yeah, then we have this. I don't know. Trying to find something rocking. Something rocking. Wake everybody up on a Thursday night. All right, we'll do this. Zip. Here we go. All right, everybody. We'll do some jamming to this one. Good day, Mr. Formiati. Hello and welcome. And good night, Mendar. Thank you for being here. All right. Whoops. Hitting buttons all over the place. So let's see. Getting close to 11. So I think I'm going to head out soon. So if anybody has any questions, let me know. But thank you for being here. A lot of you every day or close to every day. Holy cow. 27 days of streaming in a row talking about the wonderful 6-string thing that I'm holding, the guitar. April is Guitar Month. Soon to be, April was Guitar Month. It's almost over. 3 more days left. That's it. Right? I think we have 30 days. That's it. So yeah, it's like 3 or 4 days, and then we're done. My goodness. All right, so let's see. Who do we have? Anybody drop in while I was playing? No, looks like we have all the same people hanging, so that's good, except for Mr. Formiati. He is here, which is important. This is true. Gotta say, every day is Guitar Month. Especially for me. Every day is Guitar Month. Every month is Guitar Month. Every year is Guitar Year. Oh, yes. We have to blow it out on Sunday. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I might start streaming at like 7. Go 7 to 11. We'll just do a nice long evening of streaming. Or maybe I'll start at noon and go to 4. Do something like that. I don't know. I know Sundays people like to do stuff, family stuff, and all of that. So I think maybe we'll just stick to the later time and we'll go longer, but not so late. We'll start a little earlier and go till 11ish. Yeah, that'll be fun. And it's always fun. Fun talking guitars, seeing people hanging out here and asking questions and stuff. And definitely appreciated everybody hanging with me this whole month. Let's see, do I have a fun fact for this evening? I think I wore out my fun facts, but let's see. I'm going to have to start finding some fun facts that are not so much guitar, but more like maybe pedals and picks and things. Actually, I have a fun fact about picks. Yeah. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if... Oh, I just ran over a cable. I hate when I do that. Let me see something here. What did Wendy say? Good thing I can't go to my fashion... Oh, the fashion show tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. That was fun. Every year Wendy was doing this fashion show type thing for MS. It was a benefit for to raise money for MS and MS awareness. And we haven't been able to do it for the past few years. But hopefully maybe next year we can get back to that, because that was cool. I liked it. Wendy got all dressed up. She would get an outfit. I believe that was part of whatever they were showing. And then they had makeup artists there, so they would do her makeup. And I'm not a big fan of makeup, so whenever they did her makeup, I was like, oh, I wish they would have went a little easier, because it's too much. I think she looks great the way she does it, which is not too much or nothing at all. She doesn't wear makeup, so it's very weird for me to see her with the modeling crew, but she looked great. Let me see if I have a picture. I think I have a picture. We're going to show a picture of Wendy from the fashion show. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get a picture of Wendy from the fashion show, because all of Wendy's pictures on her Facebook page, if anybody's hanging with Wendy over there, it's all gone because she got hacked. So you can't see her pictures. But let's see. I have one usually pretty handy because it's one of my favorite pictures. Let's see. Let's see if it's handy. Probably not going to be handy now that I'm looking for it, right? Go figure. Oh well. And I wish her Facebook page would come back, but they just fired like 3 million people over there, so getting anything done and customer support wise is just not going to happen. Let's see, where did that picture go? Oh, nope, that's a different one. That was good too, but that's not the fashion show picture. She was on the runway. It was really awesome. Really awesome. And the other cool thing about this particular picture is I got it where she's on the runway and they had a giant screen behind everybody who would walk down the runway, and she's on the screen and on the runway. It was a really cool picture. And of course I'm not going to be able to find it because I said, oh yeah, I got it handy. Holy cow, this is ridiculous. When I don't want to find it, it's here. That's how it works. And when I do want to find it, it's impossible to find. Oh well. Maybe I'll post it on my Facebook page. But it would have been fun to just show. Oh well, not happening. Oh, bummer. Let's see if I go by people. We go by Wendy. What do we have? Oh, that might work. Oh, that's working pretty good. Nope. Well, here's one picture. Oh, here's the other picture. This is the one I like the most that they did. You guys see that picture of Wendy? There she is. It's kind of weird with the glare. Oh well. One of my favorite pictures. I'll have to find the other one with her on stage. That was really cool. So, all right, everybody. Well, we're like 10:57. We're 3 minutes away from the 11 o'clock mark. So I think we'll call it a night. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I really appreciate everybody. And we will see you all tomorrow. Hopefully a little earlier. But things always come up. So we'll see. Hopefully a little earlier than 9:30. Maybe we can get to 8:30. That would be cool. But everybody have a great night. I'll catch you tomorrow. And we're closing in on the end of the month. Guitar month. Be well. See you soon.